StadiumDB.com presents La Liga Santander Stadiums of the 2022-23 season. Hi! What we have for you this time is an overview of the Spanish La Liga Stadiums for the upcoming season, which will be the 92nd in the history of the competition. We have ranked all 20 football arenas from the smallest to the largest. Before we begin, we would like to ask you to support our channel by liking the video and leaving a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you get a notification every time we post a video. And now, to cut to the chase, here are the beautiful stadiums of the Spanish elite. 20th place. Estadio Municipal de Montilivi. Capacity 11,200. Girona FC. Our lineup opens with the stadium of newcomers from Girona. The club from Catalonia will be playing only its third season in the top division in its history. When it first happened in 2017, the intimate venue expanded with the addition of temporary stands on the north, east and south sides, bringing the venue's capacity from less than 10,000 to 14,500. When Girona were relegated from La Liga 2 years later, the temporary stands behind the goals were dismantled. The additional seats are set to return in the coming season, bringing the stadium's capacity to almost 14,000. The Catalan national team also plays its matches at Montilivi, having beaten Venezuela 2-1 in a non-official friendly match 3 years ago. 19th place. Campo de Fútbol de Vallecas. Capacity 14,505. Rayo Vallecano. The venue consists of 3 stands. 2 along the pitch have 2 tiers each and are covered by a roof, and there is a third, uncovered one behind a goal. It is where die-hard supporters called bucaneros usually stand. Behind the second goal there is a wall with advertising banners. Interestingly, in 2011, Campo de Fútbol de Vallecas became the last venue in Spain where the fence separating the fans from the pitch was removed. Although the solution was deemed unsafe already back in the 1990s, it has survived here for more than a decade after that. In addition to Rayo Vallecano playing in Primera Division, top music stars such as Queen, Bob Dylan and Metallica have performed here. You could say the club also has a special star, Teresa Rivero, the first female president of the club in Spain's top league. 18th place. Estadio Mediterráneo. Capacity 15,000. U de Almeria. The most distinctive feature of the stadium are the 4 brutalist floodlight masts that pierce the roof and tower over the corner entrances to the venue. The stadium was built for the 2005 Mediterranean Games, which were held in Almeria. As such, the venue has a running track and athletics layout, which means the stands are located well away from the pitch. To improve the atmosphere during matches, the club decided to put temporary stands behind the goals, which are located on the side of the running track. This procedure reduced the capacity from the original 22,000 to around 15,000 seats. More recently, all the seats in the stadium have been replaced with new red-colored ones. 17th place. Coliseum Alfonso Pérez. Capacity 16,500. Getafe CF. Situated in the southern suburbs of Madrid, alongside the M45 motorway, the stadium has a football-specific layout with a lower ring of the stands surrounding the pitch on all sides. Initially, only 3 stands were 2-tiered, on the west, north and east sides, and the entire arena could hold up to 40,500 spectators. In 2005, shortly after Getafe CF's historic promotion to the top division, a second level was also added behind the south goal, increasing the arena's capacity to 16,500 spectators. The old roof on the west main stand was also replaced with a new one, which since then covers the entire upper tier. The facility was named after Getafe's most famous footballer, Alfonso Pérez, although he never represented the club from his city in his professional career. 16th place, Estadio de la Cerámica, capacity 22,000, Villarreal CF. Villarreal is a very densely built city, so it should come as no surprise that El Madrigal Football Stadium appears to be squeezed between townhouses, with only the western facade exposed. In the 21st century, the arena has undergone a series of upgrades and one major redevelopment. The end of the first decade of the new century saw the creation of the upper level of the East Stand, functioning as the visitors section with small private boxes underneath. In 2017 it was followed by the completion of a major image makeover, which saw the venue covered in yellow ceramic tiles. As a result, it was possible to attract sponsors, promoting the local tiling industry. The latest upgrade, which began after the end of the previous season, is expected to be completed by the end of the year, with the stadium ready for the 15th round of La Liga matches. 15th place, Visit Mallorca Estadi, capacity 23,142, RSD Mallorca. This is another stadium in La Liga that was built for the purpose of accommodating athletics competitions. Palma de Mallorca played host to the 1999 Summer Universiade, and shortly after the games, the local football team moved into the facility. Over the years, much has been done at the stadium to improve the atmosphere in the stands. Additional temporary rows were added to the west stand, bringing the audience closer to the pitch. A similar measure was decided behind the north goal, where a temporary stand was placed on the athletics track. A large-scale redevelopment of the stadium began in May this year, the main aim being to remove the running track and create a new lower tier of stands, the first rows of which will be located just behind the pitch lines. The east stand is also to be roofed. The work is expected to be completed in early 2024. 14th place, Estadio El Sadar, capacity 23,516, Club Atlético Osasuna. The brand new stadium in Pamplona is a real architectural marvel. Its final shape was decided through a voting process by Osasuna's supporters. It was an unprecedented event in professional football. The winning design turned out to be Muro Rojo, meaning red wall, developed by OFS architects. The stadium is rectangular in shape with sharp edges on which rests a roof resembling a giant red ring. The color identified with Los Rojillos is omnipresent in the arena. The seats are red, with the exception of the blue inscription CA Osasuna, and the space where the teams meet before heading out onto the pitch is also painted red. During matches played after dark, this color is also used to illuminate the outer facade. The unique architecture of the stadium was also recognized by the readers of our website, who selected it as the 2021 Stadium of the Year. Let us add that it was a landslide victory. 13th place, Estadio Nuevo Mirandilla, capacity 25,033, Cádiz CF. The stadium is located on a plot of land squeezed between dense urban surroundings close to the beach. The facility originally had an athletics track, but it was removed as a result of modernization in the 1980s, allowing the construction of new steep stands close to the pitch. The first to be built was a completely new stand behind the north goal. Further reconstruction took place in the early 21st century. First, two-story stands were erected on the east and south sides. This was followed by a complete refurbishment of the north stand, which was built in the 1980s. The final stage of reconstruction was the renovation of the main west stand. After its completion, the stadium was given its current capacity. 12th place. Estadio José Zorrilla, capacity 27,618, Real Valladolid. The stadium got its present shape in the 1980s when the north stand was built, containing a large number of business lodges. With a capacity of 33,000 spectators, the stadium offered as many as 120 boxes. The layout of the arena has not changed to this day, although capacity was reduced as a result of adapting the stands to the FIFA requirements in the 1990s. All the seats were replaced in the previous decade and now form a colorful purple and white mosaic. Since the beginning, the arena has been home to Real Valladolid, but over the years, the stadium has hosted a wide variety of events. From the 1982 World Cup group matches between France, Czechoslovakia and Kuwait, the Copa del Rey and Spanish national team games to major concert by stars such as Michael Jackson. 11th place. Abanca Balaidos, capacity 29,000, Celta de Vigo. In the 1920s, a group of local businessmen bought a plot of land in Vigo, on which a stadium was to be built. The first challenge they faced was the diversion of the Lagares River. The name of the facility comes from Abeladillos and refers to the place where the hazelnut trees called Abeleiras in Galician grew. The stadium was designed by Genaro de la Fuente, a famous Galician architect and one of the pioneers of modernism in Vigo. In 2015, the slow redevelopment of the stadium began, which is taking place in stages. The north stand and the main south stand are now complete. The next stage is the demolition of the stand behind the west goal and the construction of a new one much closer to the pitch. Work is already underway, but its detailed schedule is not known. 10th place. Estadio Manuel Martínez Valero, capacity 31,388, Elche CF. The venue has two-tier very steep stands. The auditorium, which closely surrounds the pitch on all sides, is reminiscent of some NFL stadiums. The stadium features a crude concrete facade designed by Juan Bosch Matarredona. Pubs, discos and restaurants are located at the back of the structure, which reaches 18 meters high, not to mention Elche's offices and a club shop. This is one of the 17 stadiums which hosted matches during the 1982 World Cup. Hungary achieved a record-breaking victory here in the history of the World Cups, beating El Salvador by a whooping 10-1. In addition, Estadio Manuel Martínez Valero hosted Copa del Rey final in the 2002-03 season. The arena has the highest fourth UEFA category. Once again, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and hit thumbs up. Remember to click on the bell button as well. That way you won't miss any of the future content and will help our channel grow. 9th place. Reale Arena, capacity 40,000, Real Sociedad. Estadio Anoeta has been renowned in Europe over the years for its shape. The stands were given an oval shape and variable height depending on the part of the venue. However, due to the athletics track, the atmosphere was criticized, which is understandable when the auditorium is up to 40 meters away from the pitch behind the goals. The stands were surrounded by a canopy based on massive concrete girders. From the outside, this made the roof appear very massive, but inside, the spectator could see a light steel frame hanging over the auditorium. The stadium's current appearance is the work of Basque architect Izaskun Larzabal, whose project was to leave as much of the old structure as possible and transform Anoeta into a football venue with good viewing conditions. In the end, it was decided that only the upper level of the two stands along the pitch would be retained, along with the canopy, and the rest would be redesigned. Both the roof and the facade are covered with the ETFE membrane. 8th place, RCD Stadium. Capacity 40,000, RCD Español. The stadium was built as a private investment by RCD Español some 7 kilometers southwest of the previous venue used by the team, the Olympic Stadium. Interestingly, Español's local rival, FC Barcelona, will play host at Estadio Olímpic Luis Companys in the 2023-24 season due to the redevelopment of Camp Nou. RCD Stadium opened on June 5, 2009, but Español played their first match here in August against Liverpool. The cost of the investment was initially estimated at 60 million euros, but ended up being around 75 million euros. Due to its energy efficiency, low consumption, and its own solar power generation, as well as low water requirements, the stadium won the Stadium Business Award for the best arena of the 2010. Its multifunctionality also helped significantly, the most glaring manifestation of which is the existence of tombs in the corner for fans wishing to be buried. In addition to Español's matches, the venue hosted a concert by Black Eyed Peas, as well as a friendly match between Chile and Mexico. 7th place, Estadio Ramón Sánchez Pizjuán. Capacity 43,864, Sevilla FC. Sevilla's most centrally located stadium is named after the club's longtime president, who first bought the land for the facility and later helped prepare the investment. However, he did not live to see it begin. Construction work took almost 20 years, and when it was finally completed in 1974, the facility could hold an impressive 77,000 spectators. For the World Cup, the capacity was reduced to around 70,000 seats. On that occasion, a striking mosaic was created on the facade of the main stand, which decorates the stadium to this day. Since the mid-1990s, the venue has been entirely seated. Among locals, Sevilla's legendary stadium is nicknamed La Bombonera, clearly evoking the Boca Juniors venue in Buenos Aires, Argentina. There is a special legend associated with Estadio Ramón Sánchez Pizjuán. Spain has never lost a match against another national team in the stadium. Interestingly, Sevilla has only lost at home 7 times in UEFA competitions. The club's bosses have commissioned a feasibility study for a new stadium, and it will be up to the fans to have an important say in the matter. One idea is to add a third tier of stands, which could increase the stadium's capacity to around 60,000 seats, but at the moment little more is known about the future of the arena. 6th place, Estadio Mestalla. Capacity 49,430, Valencia CF. The stadium has undergone numerous transformations in its almost 100-year history. As the club has grown and its sporting successes have continued, the auditorium has gradually expanded. Due to the small plot of land, it grew upwards, which later made the venue one of the most famous in Europe, thanks to its extremely steep stands. In its history, the arena hosted a European Super Cup match, a World Cup, as well as football matches during the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. To this must be added national finals and numerous prestigious matches in UEFA competitions, and even national team matches. The stadium underwent a major makeover between 2013 and 2014, with all the seats being replaced and the entire structure painted in the club's orange and black colors. Valencia is preparing to move to a new arena, but the investment is very unfortunate and has dragged on for more than a dozen years. The construction of No Mestalla, after all, began in 2007. In June this year, another concept to complete the construction was presented. This time, the venue's exterior is to be finished with an airy, balconied facade, while the tiered roof from above will be covered with photovoltaic panels, creating the largest canopy of its kind in Europe. Its capacity is expected to be 49,000 seats, with the possibility of future expansion. Work is scheduled to resume in October 2022 and is expected to last 3 years. 5th place, San Mamés Barria. Capacity 53,331. Athletic Bilbao. The most distinctive feature of the stadium is the facade made up of thousands of white ribs. Each one is curved so that the panels do not adhere tightly, but allow light to enter and the interior to be ventilated. Nor does it feel as if the stadium is fully enclosed from the outside. Thanks to its interesting eye-catching visuals, the stadium has become a tourist attraction, picking up international accolades. Inside, there are 2 levels of stands, which are divided by a small lane for business customers. In both the design and construction of the stadium, there was a strong emphasis on green solutions, which is why the facility was the first in Spain to receive LEED certification. Interestingly, already after the first season, there were calls from the fans begging for structural changes. Supporters complained that the roof was too small and did not provide enough protection from the rain. Listening to the voices of their fans, the club officials decided to create an additional roof ring. 2 years after the stadium opened, in 2016, around 7,000 square meters of almost transparent ETFE were added, so that all spectators can now stay dry. San Mamés has been awarded the right to host the Women's Champions League final in 2024 and the Europa League final in 2025. 4th place, Estadio Benito Villamarín. Capacity 60,721. Real Betis. The first substantial renovation was carried out for the 1982 World Cup, which increased the stadium's capacity to 50,253 seats. The arena hosted 2 group matches during the tournament, in which Brazil played against Scotland and New Zealand, respectively. At the end of the 20th century, with UEFA and the National Federation drastically raising standards, the decision was made to demolish the old facility and build a new one from scratch. A stadium with 3-tier stands around the entire pitch was supposed to be built, but neither full stands nor roofing were introduced for a long time. The north and the south stands were built, the other 2 were not. The venue owes its current appearance to the 2016-17 redevelopment, when the new south stand was built, with 3 main auditorium levels and a set of VIP boxes. The investment raised the stadium's capacity to more than 60,000 seats. After years of planning and promises, the stadium finally lived to see the auditorium closed, as well as a complete replacement of the seats, floodlights and sound system. The investment cost around 15 million euros. 3rd place, Estadio Santiago Bernabéu. Capacity 61,500. Real Madrid. Currently, modernization works are underway at the Santiago Bernabéu, which will increase the capacity of the stadium to 85,000 spectators. The facility will be fitted with a new retractable roof, allowing the venue to be fully enclosed, while the stands will be surrounded with a striking futuristic facade made of stainless steel panels. Inside, new commercial spaces and an underground car park will be created. The players' changing rooms and the club museum will also be expanded. Under the roof there will be a circular panoramic screen stretching around the entire pitch. The stadium will be equipped with a retractable pitch system, which will be stored in a 30-meter deep trench under the west stand after being divided into sections. The easy dismantling of the pitch will enable non-football events to take place without damaging the turf. The ceremonial opening of the redeveloped stadium is expected to take place in autumn 2022, although full completion is expected in mid-2023. Ahead of the upcoming season, Los Blancos have signed a new contract worth up to €360 million with 6th Street and Legends, which will allow new businesses to be developed at Estadio Santiago Bernabéu. Second place, Civitas Metropolitano, capacity 68,456, Atletico Madrid. The most unusual part of the stadium, and at the same time its trademark, is the hat, which at its peak reaches a height of 42 meters. To call this structure simply an ordinary roof would be an insult. As a masterpiece of engineering and architecture, it combines functionality with design while being one of the largest of its kind. The lightweight Teflon membrane sheeting extends to 83,000 square meters, far more than is needed to roof a stadium, and the huge amount of canvas used is due to the way it is laid out. The hat is inquisitively shaped on all sides, creating a rippling impression on the outside of the arena, yet delightful with its harmony and rhythm on the inside. Thanks to a specially developed illumination system, the canopy becomes a large screen at night. Due to its spatial layout and maximum proximity to the players, the auditorium is only 96% covered, but offers facilities so extensive that as many as 1,035 spectator parking spaces fit under the 3 stands. Above them, one of the most remarkable business zones in Spain has been created. In total, premium seats occupy around 10% of the stadium's capacity. Atletico's footballers moved to Wanda Metropolitano from the legendary Estadio Vicente Calderón in 2017. Their previous venue was subsequently demolished. First place, Camp Nou, capacity 99,354, FC Barcelona. The Blaugrana's iconic venue holds the capacity supremacy not only in Spain, but also in the whole of Europe, and is one of the largest in the world. The stadium owes its current monumental 3-tier stand layout to an extension carried out before the 1982 World Cup. Along with the third tier also came 2 new wide scoreboards, which were erected on the tops of the stands behind the goals. The extension was a fulfillment of the original 1957 plan, and the capacity increased to 120,000 seats. The upgrade also saw a VIP area and press boxes added to the stands. At the beginning of the 21st century, the stadium underwent the world's largest seat replacement operation, resulting in Camp Nou's capacity now standing at 99,354 spectators. The seats are in the club's colors, maroon, first and third floors, and navy blue, second floor. In addition, they are arranged on the west stand in the inscription FC Barcelona, and on the opposite side in the club's motto, Més que un club, more than a club. The maximum height of the venue is 48 meters, with an overall area of 55,000 square meters. Inside the stadium, facilities include offices, press rooms, television studios, a medical center, and even a chapel. The stadium was awarded UEFA's highest category in the 1998-99 season. The Blaugrana Stadium, which must not fall behind its great rival from the capital, is facing a major upgrade. Above all, the plans include an expansion to a capacity of more than 105,000 spectators and the full roofing of the stands. The stadium redevelopment is to be carried out between 2022 and 2025. This was the final venue in our review of the La Liga Stadiums for the 2022-23 season. Have you ever been to any of these architectural wonders? If so, which one? Also, be sure to let us know in the comments which stadium is your favorite. See you in the next videos.